information about what we just unlocked. And there were only 3 of us. I thought I was doing pretty good, and then, or what's available. If you don't know, then you know now. If you like this episode, hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of 33 Immortals. And in this episode, I'm actually going to be focusing on the Daggers of Greed. I'm going to be going through every single upgrade, how to get there, which relics actually work best for me that I found out after my hours of gameplay. And then I'm going to be discussing which upgrades are going to be best together. First thing that I did was actually upgrade my Daggers of Greed to level 3. And this allows me to collect upgrades when I go back to, let's say, Inferno or Paradiso. This is me in the Inferno right now. I'm just battling a random group of enemies, and sometimes this is how you get stuff. As you can see, I got myself a new weapon upgrade. Time to take a look at it. I got Quick Strike. Your slashes get faster every 4 successful hits up to a cap. They don't really specify the cap or how many hits you get after that are actually faster. But the best way to use it would be during boss fights like this. It's a mini boss. It's stationary. You ain't going nowhere, so you're actually getting the chance to go past 4 attacks. Any other enemy, you don't really get that chance because they really die too fast. Especially when you have a teammate. Let's take a look at it. I'm trying to do the same thing here. Enemies are attacking, projectiles are being shot out. I can't really just stand there and just keep attacking the enemy. Now, the next thing that I got was Mortal Slashes. Your heavy slashes now deal high damage against monsters with less than half health. This is actually one of my favorite upgrades as far as the Daggers of Greed, especially when you could get your enemies past half health. With teammates, that's not really too hard. As you can see right here, I did this by myself. This is during a mini boss fight. And I'm actually waiting for the enemy to get below half health. That's actually one of the problems with Mortal Slashes, is that you have to wait for that particular point. Now, besides that, it's all upside, because once a boss or enemy gets below half health, it's game time. You're gonna have to hit enemies with your heavy slash as best as you can. Like during group fights like this, I can clear out a room pretty quick with a group of teammates. Now, the next upgrade would be Stabs. Your light slashes deal more damage. Let's take a look at that in action. It's a little bit hard to use since you have to actually be close to the enemy, like super close, right up next to its face close. As far as boss fights like this, it's pretty good in some instances, since you can just stand there, attack the boss before it just starts attacking some random player, or you know what I mean? Now, in the same fight, there are instances where quick slashes is not ideal, which would be that point because you're kind of forced to move around. You can't really get your attacks in there. Next one's going to be Patience. Once your greed starts depleting, you temporarily have enhanced attack and speed. Now, as far as attacks go, you only get one singular attack. And the problem with this is that it's random. Like you're seeing right there, I'm not even attacking anything. I'm just taking a couple swings, I'm running around, and all of a sudden this activates. Now, I finally figured it out after a few runs, is that if you time it right, then when you do your dash, you can get them with that one enhanced attack. As you're seeing right here, I did it consecutively. You can get into a rhythm with it. But in order to actually depend on it, I wouldn't do it. Now, I actually got to Daggers Mastery 2 after going through a couple runs, and this unlocks another thing, which would be weapon upgrade slot, as you've seen with the other video. The next one that I got was steadfast power. Your attacks get stronger up to a cap the more time you spend without using dash. I actually really like this upgrade too, because even though you can't dash too much, if you actually manage to adapt to it, then you can get this thing to put out extreme amounts of damage. Like you're seeing right here, I'm just killing everything. Now, as far as moving around, you could use your takedown to actually get away from attacks or to get close to an enemy whenever you want to fight them, like you're seeing right here. I'm not really moving around too much, but then in fights like this, it's an issue because you're not really wanting to stay there without dashing. As far as Lucifer, this is perfect because you're seeing right here, I got away from attack using takedown and I didn't suffer any damage. The next upgrade is going to be greedier. You can store 33 more greed than normal, but once you use it, then all the greed that you accumulated is going to be gone just like that. So as far as effectiveness, I'm not really liking this too much. As far as upgrades, I feel like it's probably the weakest one or close to it. There is another one that I'm thinking about too that's entirely situational, but I want to talk about relics right now. Pontiff's Shrunken Heart is actually one of my favorite relics since it does create a blast whenever you do a dash. Now the next one that I like is Finger of the Doubtful. Abilities cause a blast. Whenever you do something like a takedown, you're going to be creating a whole bunch of damage. Relinquishing Hand actually lets me create a blast whenever I use a light attack. With all those three combined, it's pretty savage. Here it is in the Ascension battle. I'm letting everything have it right now. You're just seeing things die. There is one other teammate with me, but he's just doing his thing with defense right now. It's all good. He can't be hurt. Now on to the next enemy. Things are dying hella fast. This is what I like about this. True, I don't have all the upgrades on me that I do now, but those three relics, if you could find them and you could combine them, they're the best. Now to move on to the best combos for the Daggers of Greed, like I was talking about at the beginning of the episode. First slot is filled with mortal slashes, since I am a fan of the damage output that it puts out whenever you fight an enemy or boss. Also, it happens quite a bit, especially with your teammates all around. They're attacking. If they have high damage output, whenever you see an enemy below half-life, start hitting them with heavy slashes and it's over. Now for the second slot, I'm looking at Quick Strike, Stabs. They're both pretty good. Quick Strike, like I said, has a major downside in that you have to hit them more than 4 times in order for you to benefit from it. It's not increasing your damage output in any way. As far as steadfast power, it definitely does, but you're kind of limited to the amount of times that you can dash, but that's not a huge issue though. If you take a look at right here, I'm just running normally and see how quickly this thing builds up. It doesn't take a long time. You're not going to be waiting forever. Also, you don't need to wait until it's at 100% effectiveness before you can gain some sort of benefit from it. Now you can take a look at it in action during an Ascension battle right here. I'm doing a fair amount of damage to every single enemy that I'm fighting on this thing. Things are dying pretty quickly and everything is getting cleared out. Ascension battle still isn't over yet. Now as you can see, I'm not really dashing all around the place. I kind of can see where the attacks are coming from, so I'm just jogging out of the way essentially. You don't have to dash around all the time. Now, if you want to move closer to an enemy or get away from an attack, takedown is there for you, like I had mentioned earlier before. It really is a helpful tool as far as moving around. Like, look at that. You just have to hold on the takedown button. whatever button that may be. On my controller, that would be Y, because I'm using Xbox layout as far as controllers go. This would be it. That's the end of the Ascension battle. Now it's time for my second favorite combo, which would be mortal slashes and stabs. It's more of a constant damage output that I'm liking, instead of something like quick strike. So here it is in the Ascension battle. And I'm going to show you how strong this thing is. It's not as strong as mortal slashes and steadfast power, but it does its thing. You're getting constant damage output from stabs and everything, and so that is the most effective part of it. Once you get an enemy below half-life, start hitting them with heavy slashes, mortal slashes comes in, and bam, your enemy's dead. Done in. Got. Anything you want to say about it. Battle ain't over yet. On these bosses right here, they take a little bit of time to actually attack, so you get that moment to take off a fair amount of life before you have to move away. That would be almost it. There's a couple of enemies left. That'll be that. Well, hold on. There's one more enemy, and the Ascension battle has been complete. This is going to be the end of the episode. I know it's kind of short and everything, but I think I covered pretty much everything as far as the Daggers of Greed. I'm going to be moving on to another weapon in the next video, or I might just go to the Wrath of God. I'm not sure. It's been pretty tough lately, and I'm starting to think that devs might have to rework that final boss. Either way, if you liked this episode and you found it helpful, you can leave that like, subscribe, and slap that notification bell if you want to know when the newest videos are coming out. I want to thank you and everyone that subscribed to the channel. Until next time, hope y'all have a good one. Peace out.